Hello YouTube and welcome, and maybe welcome back to Chef Lethal Plays Path of Exile. This is episode 1 of season 5. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. That's usually what not believing it means. But anyway, hello. If you're new here, welcome. I am Chef Lethal, and normally on episode 1s of new series, since there is a statistically higher number of people that click the video than every other video, I like to have my face on camera, but truth be told, I have been afflicted? Either way, by some sort of nasty bug, and I feel like garbage, I look like trash, and my voice is only now just recovering, so forgive my absence, but I wanted to make sure I got this video out, since we're already like 2 weeks out from League launch, and I'm just now getting this done. So a couple of things. If you are new here, thank you so very much for clicking on the video. Like I said, I know episode 1 always gets the most views, so if you are interested in kind of slow playing Path of Exile, is something you can keep on a second monitor or just have on as background noise, then thank you so much for stopping in. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, head on over to Twitch and subscribe to my channel over there, or follow, I guess it's called. I do occasional live streams once I'm feeling better. But the goal of the series is to kind of slow walk Path of Exile. I am not a blaster. I am not a professional Path of Exile player. The point of this series is to kind of give you an idea of either learn how to play the game, learn maybe something you didn't know about the game, or just watch a kind of mid-player fight through and do the best he can. I'm a dad. I've got 3 kids. I'm married. I have a full-time job. I don't have the time to spend 6 to 8 hours a day grinding this game and having a build that's multiple mirrors and all this stuff. Like I'm just fighting through the best I can. So if you're into that sort of thing, keep watching, and I hope you enjoy the content. Now, for those of us that have come back, thank you for clicking on the video and coming back. I know we're late, but with the League launch on Halloween, and then my mother-in-law was in town, and then I got sick and all this stuff, so it was just really bad timing for me. But I'm trying something a little bit different so far for this season, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more editing than I have in the past 4 seasons. So I've already recorded the first episode, and I've cut out a lot of kind of the boring walking or backtracking or mundane stuff, or I've sped up a little bit, so it's still not heavily edited, but definitely more edited than just like a straight cut through and watching every single step my character takes. So hopefully it works out, and I'm going to be doing voiceover as well, so that way there's more continuity. So we'll see how it goes from a recording and uploading standpoint. It may just be that I end up going back to the old way and just doing a standard talk as I go, but we'll see how it goes. So for this league, for quote-unquote league start, even though it's like 2 weeks late, it's still technically league start for me because I don't have any currency. But I'm starting an Earthshatter Slayer build that I saw from Karn, who is a professional Path of Exile streamer, I guess. So his max roll guide will be linked in the description. We're going to be using Path of Building, of course. If you're unfamiliar with Path of Building, I can't remember exactly what video I have done to show how to get it set up, but I know for sure if you go to the playlist for this series and go to episode 0, like episode 0 season 1, I go through setting up Path of Building, setting up my filter. I'm using Filter Blade. I think like pretty much 99.9% of Path of Exile players. I'm using filterblade.xyz. Link for that will be in the description. And then I'm also going to be using Awaken PoE Trade. That's another third-party tool that will be linked in the description of every single video, in case you're unfamiliar, which I doubt many of you are unfamiliar with those tools, but just in case. So all that being said, hopefully that cut wasn't too bad. I just had a coughing fit. But hopefully, all that being said, all this will start to make sense. I'm going to cut this intro, and we're going to get right into the actual gameplay and voiceover that I'll be doing for my first episode. And so if you enjoy this, again, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It makes my heart feel warm and cozy, especially on a cool November morning. So thank you again, and let's get to the video. And off to the races we go. Just like we start every single league, you gotta create a new character, and we're doing it in Keeper's League. Now we're doing a Bone Shatter Slayer. So, I'm picking the Duelist because that is the base class for the Slayer Ascendancy. And since we're doing Earthshatter, I usually like to do some sort of cheeky name that involves chefing and stuff. So we'll just see how this goes, and we're going to load into the Twilight Strand here. As I mentioned in the intro, I do kind of end up cutting out a lot of stuff. More than usual, or more than in the past. So you'll see a lot more cuts during this episode, especially now that I'm doing VO. I've got a little bit of flexibility with that. So there I'm just getting my mana flask where I like to have it, getting used to the buttons, because honestly I haven't played Path of Exile in weeks. And making sure I get my item filter set up, loaded into the game. I've already got it set up through filterblade.xyz, making sure that all my buttons are set. You got to pick up this weapon, and then a big mistake I always make is you got to make sure it gets equipped. So I have auto equip turned off on my character, so you got to manually put it on there, beat up this zombie, and then we grab double strike, put that in. And then I got to make sure that my skills are set. Left click is move only for 99% of people, myself included, and I like to have my right click as my main first skill there. And you don't have to kill anything on the beach here except for at the very end. There's absolutely no reason for it. We got our chance to bleed support that will be very useful for us here in the early stages. If you're not familiar with Path of Exile, you can put skills in any color slot that is available on your gear. It doesn't matter if it's an attack skill, it can go on your armor. Oftentimes it does. And then you can get a support skill as long as the two sockets are linked on your gear. You're good to go. So here I'm going to kite Hillock. So I stab him in the back, run around, stab him in the back, run around, stab him in the back. And I don't think I get hit at all. Of course, I'm not close enough for a lot of these because I'm smart. I was on cold meds, that's my excuse. But if you just keep circling around him, I'm actually getting hit by the porcupines shooting at me, not Hillock. Got a nice level up there. You always get a level up. So that's why you don't have to kill anything on the beach, because it doesn't matter. And there I just walk into Lion Eyes and I allocate my skill. And I'm going to go in here and see what I got. And there's actually, I picked up a fair amount of gear. Of course I can't equip that chest piece because it had an intelligence requirement, I believe, that I don't have. And I just put on the extra sword there for kicks and giggles. And I got some gloves, so feeling decent. Walking out here to the next area, and I'm not necessarily going for time on this run through the campaign. Normally I like to go as fast as possible and try to beat my score of time, especially since last league I had my best time ever. But I mainly just want to get through it in a way that makes the most sense in the gaming sessions that I have available, because I'm a busy guy. So generally speaking though, going through here, you don't have to kill a lot of these guys. If they're just plain white monsters, unless there's a ton of them and you can handle them, it's not really beneficial to stop and kill them. So we're gonna go here off to the side. I believe this is the mud flats. Oh no, the tidal pool. And we're going to cut through again. I don't have to do any of this. I don't have to kill any of these guys. I did swing at those crabs just to see if I could get a bleed on them, just to get a little bit of XP going and top up my flasks. But just running through and looking to get to the ending area where there is a boss. Or I guess, I don't know if he's technically a boss, like a mini boss type character, monster. He is a quest reward token. And here I'm kiting a lot of monsters, and this is probably a big mistake. I'm also experimenting using, I think it's magma strike or something like that strike that's throwing the fireballs. It's not working out too well for me, and I got a nice little level up there. That happens up pretty quick because there's a lot of monsters, and several of them are blue magic level, which means they're a little bit tougher than plain old white monsters. If you're not familiar, Path of Exile has different layers of gear and different layers of monsters. So you can have white gear or white monsters, which are just normal, plain, boring monsters or gear. If it's a gear piece, they can have no affixes. It is just the item. So I skipped a bit there, and I met my doom. And so I cut a little bit more just to get right to the juice of getting to the boss here. So anyway, so you got white gear. Blue gear has up to 2 affixes, 2 modifiers on there. You can have 1 prefix and 1 suffix. If it's a monster, then it's literally colored blue, and it has some modifiers. Here I'm just speeding up the fight because this one took a long time for my weak-ass character. You've got yellow monsters and yellow gear. Yellow gear it's rare gear, and you can have up to 6 modifiers, 3 affixes or 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. And then there's unique gear, which is unique, and it can have any number of things. It can have whatever it wants. They follow special rules. So I cut out a lot of all of the backtracking to get up to this area here, back to the waypoint, and now we're going to put on this hand, which is kind of funny. And now we are going to be interacting with the league mechanic. This league, it's Breach. If you remember from last league or any of the previous leagues, Breach is a mechanic that a lot of people really like, myself included. I've used it a lot to farm last league, and so they reworked it, and it's this new system. So it totally transformed the starting area here. So we go in. I don't know what's happening with all these walls disappearing. I don't know. I'm just walking through trying to get to the hand that's right up there, right above my area on the mini map. I'm just killing some guys. And so I did want to clear the area a bit before I got into the hand, because I knew that there'd be a lot of monsters. So we summon this lady Aelith, and she comes in, and now the breach starts, I guess, and now I have to defend her. So monsters are going to start spawning and running in. Each one of those hands that show are different skills or activities that can happen to help you defend the breach. So you can heal her. There's one that gives her a shield, and there's one that kind of like erupts an energy wave and kills a bunch of monsters for you. I didn't know this until a little bit later. I'm giving you the spoiler alert on this one. But anyway, I was kind of getting through, making sure I slam on my health potions. And it looks like we are in the final wave here. And I'm a super duper weak character. Like, this isn't very good or anything like that, but this loot is good. I am enjoying seeing already rare gear in the beginning of Act 1 is amazing. It's cool, and my inventory is even full. So just checking to see what I got really quick and see if there's any upgrades. I got a better life potion and some other stuff related to the breach. I clicked on that thing that was in the middle of the screen. That was a portal that takes me here to the Genesis tree, which is another tree. And this is a way for the league mechanic where you're going to be able to create gear, get items and stuff like that. I haven't done any research into it other than I know that people are creating 6-link armor gear and weapons like before they even leave the campaign or early maps, which is crazy. So that's what I'm going to be hoping for is find out the nodes to make it the most worth to get the gear that you need. So you can allocate different nodes, and it gives different characteristics to the chances of things dropping. I'm not fully sure how it works. So from one tree to the other, we look at the passive tree, the regular passive tree, because I got a level up there, and now we're back to the mud flats, and now running through this area as normal. This is considered maybe the hardest area in the game because of these stupid Roas. And you're so weak, generally speaking, on League Start, you know, your first new character, you're so weak, and you're going through these areas, and these stupid Roas, they charge you, and they stun you, and it can be really deadly, especially if you get surrounded like this. But I got a nice level up there, so I'm pretty safe. I was pretty safe there for a little bit. But, so I got the 3 glyphs, and now I'm going to head over here to this other exclamation point. Eventually. Chef, there we go. So eventually we're going to head down here, and then I'm going to input the glyphs into the wall here, so it'll open up the next area, but I'm not going to go in there yet. I backtracked a bit and actually head back home so I can offload my inventory, because it is pretty full. Also, I'm going to give that medicine chest to Bestel, and he is going to give me stuff. But I'm looking for my portal scrolls. I accidentally put them in the currency tab. They don't want to go there. I need them so I can use them when I'm running around town. Anyway, so we go and back to the mud flats, and I'm going to head back up to the doorway that is at the very tippy top of the minimap, grabbing wisdom scrolls. There's been a change. I don't think you need wisdom scrolls as much, which is pretty nice, but I'm still going to pick them up because that's the kind of loot goblin that I am. And also I got a quicksilver flask, so I'll be able to move a little bit faster, which is really nice. So here in the fetid pool, the goal excuse me, the goal will be to clear out all the monsters, including the necromancer. That's kind of at the end. I picked up a decoy totem, which is a really nice skill where I can put down a totem and it kind of taunts the enemies for me, so they will be enticed to attack the totem instead of attacking me, so that I can do, you know, duelist things and go behind them and kill them. So, and I also got dash, which is a little movement skill that helps me zoom forward just a little bit. So here we are fighting the necromancer, and my main thing is put a decoy totem, check the top left to make sure that it's still around, and then attack, attack, attack. Decoy totem's down, put it back, and attack, attack, attack. Of course, I'm out of mana, so none of that's going to work, and I haven't been killing monsters, so my tiny little mana flask is not loaded, which is a real bummer. So, I think I died there. I don't know, I put a portal down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm running away. Tactful, what is it? It's a tactical retreat. So here I definitely did go to town. I had a larger mana flask in my chest over there. So I equipped it along with my smaller one, and it should put us in a better position here to kill the necromancer. This is another one. I'm doing like no damage, so yeah, absolutely having to take all the time in the world to wreck this guy, and just putting decoy totem so he attacks the totem. Attack, attack, attack. Finally get him down. Now I've got to kill the rest of the monsters. Backtracking through the whole area because I had like one monster left, and it was a real pain. So having to find that last one. There's no marker, there's no indication of where it is or anything like that. Just have to go and get it. So I do a quick log out trick to get me to go back to town without having to use a portal scroll. Then I waypoint back over to where we ended up with that exclamation point. And now we are here in the submerged passage. And we're gonna move right along. Doing pretty good. Feeling actually terrible about the build right now, because it's not a build, it's just a guy trying to get by as best as possible. Hardly doing any damage, but each level up gets us closer to when I'm able to actually do things. So we skipped a bunch there, and I found another breach hand. I think there's one in every single zone. That's the experience that I've been seeing. And I think I failed that one somehow, so it collapsed. But yeah, I think there's a breach hand in every zone, which in my brief experience, it's what it looks like right now. And knowing what I know from prior League mechanics, where there's one of a thing in every zone, it seems to be the case here. So I don't know how that translates to maps. I doubt it translates to maps where there's a breach in every map, but at least going through the campaign, we'll probably expect to see at least a breach hand in every new zone that we go to. Speaking of which, there is one right there, but I am not terribly interested in it right now because all these crabs are crabbing my vibe. So I'm going to give them the old what for. Slowly but surely. Stone axe, it's a nice find. Alright, we'll enter the breach here, and I'm trying to now, as a person not playing and just talking about it, I'm trying to see what's happening. And as this breach collapse, I guess I'm just not killing the monsters fast enough. Anyway, so I ended up making it to the end, fight the big crab boy, and this is of course sped up because I'm doing no damage. But the fight actually went pretty well, reminding decoy totem, attack, 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 decoy totem, attack, attack, attack. And it was working out for me pretty well. So was pretty happy with that. Got the nice little level up there, which topped me up. And then I got cocky right there. And that's never happened, where I died, but then the monster also died. So, spoiler alert, I'm not going back for the loot. I say, screw the loot, it's not worth it. I head back to town and offload my inventory. Talk to Tarkley. Get a passive skill point. Use the passive skill point. And again, I'm using Path of Building to check my tree and see where I kind of need to go to get the most benefit out of the skill points that I'm getting here early on. And now we head back to the portal after we look at the inventory. That's right, because I found new gear. So with that cold resistance, absolutely amazing. We're going to be going to fight a boss at the end of the act that does a lot of cold damage. So getting cold resistance early on is really, really nice. Also, that belt was a find, boys. Wow, that was incredible. So happy to see that. A rare, like 6 mod belt in Act 1. Haven't even been playing for 15 minutes. It's crazy. Also, a huge upgraded chest piece. I think that's 3 link too. Crazy. Nice helmet. Like, the gear is popping off thanks to those breaches that I was able to complete, at least. So early on, nice. I don't know how it goes, how it scales to the end game, but right now, early on, getting geared up like that feels really, really, really nice. So now I'm looking through here because I'm going to be switching over to using Spectral Throw instead of the Dual Strike that I've been using. So just checking over on Path of Building and seeing what else I need. There's some support gems that I could use instead, but I think I just keep Chance to Bleed. Yeah, get rid of Double Strike, slot in Spectral Throw, keep it with Chance to Bleed, move it over to my right click. And so Spectral Throw is where I actually throw a spectral version of the weapon, and there's a point, because of the trajectory of the item, it boomerangs back. So there's a point at the apex of the trajectory where it kind of hovers for a split second and then starts to come back. So ideally with Spectral Throw, you position yourself against your enemies where you throw your weapon and they are near the apex of the toss. So they kind of get hit in the forward momentum, in the apex momentum, and then in the return momentum, they get like triple hit. In other words, that's the idea. It really works out like that for me because I'm terrible at this game. So we have another breach here in the next area. After I killed the crab, I went to the next area, and here I am testing out Spectral Throw, seeing how it goes. The key is, and this works really well, Decoy Totem, because you can put Decoy Totem away from you and then throw your weapons in that direction and have a better chance at actually hitting monsters. So, coming through. Aelith is doing whatever she needs to do. I don't really know what's happening. I do have my shortcut key for the League mechanic set to spacebar, which has been really nice for me. You know, some people, you have custom, some more boots I can look at. You've got some custom keybinds that people like. I like having my lead mechanics on space, so if I'm in a heist, hitting space will open a door when I'm nearby it, instead of having to click on the lock for it. Or if I'm in a temple incursion, hitting space will open up the map, and instead of having to do some other random key, it's always right there. So in the breaches, I can hit the space bar to activate whatever skill I'm closest to with Aelith. So if I need her to heal up, there's a heal button. There's one of them that gives her a shield, like I said. So if you see something happening, but I didn't actually click on the hand, it's because I used the shortcut key. That's all I'm trying to say. So here's another breach, and I'm just trying to go through, throw the weapon, and do the best I can here. Which of course isn't very good, but I'm trying. For a weak character, trying the best I can. I think the red bar that's showing above the wave number there at the bottom is her health, if I'm not mistaken. Nothing bad just happened. Your eyes are deceiving you. So yeah, I think that's Ayla's health. And then the breach successfully destroyed. So that was good. Got some more gear. We got graft blood, which I have to look at. I think it has something to do with the Genesis tree, but I'm not sure how it gets used. Another cut here as we just kind of walked through an area to get to the lower prison, and there I see that there is the very first trial of ascendancy in the area. We're going to have to make our way to go up there. I see there's a breach in here too, lending to my theory that there is a breach in every new area. Walking through here, killing these guys. Of course, picking up the Scroll of Wisdom, because that's what I do. I haven't had an amulet yet, so that's my first amulet drop. Nice to see. And of course, we hit a dead end. If you're new here, I pretty much, if there's a dead end in a map, I will likely find it. I'm the king of finding dead ends. Just ask my boss. Don't ask my boss. Fighting through more monsters. Scroll of Wisdom, of course I'm going to pick it up. You never know when you're going to need to identify a piece of gear on the fly. I think I was mentioning earlier, there's been a change to Wisdom Scrolls, or at least identifying items. I don't know if I've unlocked it yet in Act 1, I don't know when that happens, but there'll be an NPC that you can use to identify all the items in your inventory and not use any Wisdom Scrolls, kind of like Deckard Cain from Diablo. And then there'll be another person you can put into your hideout to do the same thing when you get to maps. So this one I thought I was being really cheeky using the choke point there of the door frame to help kill all these monsters, but they got through because my character sucks. So I healed her up. I thought I healed her up. I guess maybe that red bar, I don't know what that red bar is, but anyway, we successfully destroyed the breach and a lot more loot drops. If you're wondering, so I think just a baseline item filter. It's not doing anything crazy, but the amount of loot that does drop, if you're unfamiliar, Chef, why do you use an item filter? Because there are so many items that drop, it's overwhelming. You can't even see your screen sometimes. But here we go to the Trial of Ascendancy. We got to do all these to unlock our Ascendancy, our level up class, basically. So these spikes do % damage, I think. So I was so close to making it to that corner, and I just missed it. But I was able to dash into here, and then dash again to get up into the safe area, and then only to be greeted by a ton of monsters. It's okay. I've got my new spectral throw weapon, so I don't have to get too close to them and feel uncomfortable. More spike traps. The cool thing about the spike traps, though, is it does actually damage the enemies. So that's really nice. And a lot of enemies here. I was very tempted to start fighting all of them, and then I realized my character is terrible, so let me get out of here. So I activate the portal and go ahead and just get on out of there. There's no point in fighting all those guys and wasting time. So we go through, and I just fast forward here till we get to the doorway. Nothing eventful happened. So now we're in the upper prison, following the walkway here. Of course, another breach. And I think this is where I decided, never mind. I was going to say, I think this is where I decided to start skipping them, but clearly that is not the case. I am clearly doing the breach yet again. Or at least trying to. I think I was feeling confident because there are some choke points and I could like just start spam throwing my weapon at the doorway and maybe having it do some work for me. But I think I end up getting pretty overwhelmed here. Yeah, so now they're coming in from behind, and they fly right in, and it's like, oh, you had a plan? That's funny. I did have a plan, and I didn't find it to be particularly funny. I thought it was a solid plan, but just battling through until the big explosion, and then the loot drop. Orb of Alchemy, so early in the game, is very nice. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Alright, another cut here as we go into the next area.
I recognize that pretty face.
There's Piety, of course. And now we must find the boss. Oh, of course we gotta use some level up points first. Then we go find the boss. There's an essence here. I totally skip it. And then we are here with Brutus. And so this one took pretty long, so we're sped up. But again, the decoy totem did really good, where he would straight up just try to slam the totem, and I could just throw, like, put myself at a good distance, like the ideal distance I was talking about before, and then just wail on him while he's hitting my totem like a doofus, and pick up all the loot and get out. So I got really excited here, and I hit /played because I thought that was the end of Act 1, and then I remembered, oh no, you idiot, it's been so long since I played Act 1 that I forgot. Like, no, I'm like 75% of the way through. So I'm going to take this waypoint. Do I head back home? No? I think I was going to, but then I said, nah, man, just keep going. So I keep going. A lot of guys here. Decoy totem. So that would have actually been a good pack for me to stop and attack, but I did not. For reasons. Couldn't tell you why. Next area, we have the ship graveyard. So this one, grab the waypoint, and then there's a cave entrance that I'm looking for. And I'm going to avoid the breach hand. That one I know for sure. I avoid. So we're in the cave now. And just battling through to try to find the end point of it. Which, fun fact, and you'll see me do it, spoiler I guess, but you don't actually have to kill the boss at the end of this area. You can just grab the objective and get out. And so this was a pretty easy walkthrough. Just straight walk. I don't even think I killed a monster. So there, I'm frozen, but I'm furiously clicking on the all flame. And I was able to dash and get right back up. This puts you right out at Fairgraves. He does a bunch of talking, and then takes a really long time to start spawning monsters. And then we just need to kill them all. Nice large mana flask drop. Jeweler's Orb, very nice to find. And once Fairgraves goes down, boom. Pick up the loot. And we zoom out to that was a long walk to get up here to the cave there. Take a little break to head home. Get rid of the inventory. Talk to the NPCs. And see what is happening. Like the upgraded life flask. Lord knows I need it. Let's see if I have an upgraded mana flask. I do. Talk to Nessa. None of these matter that she has. But I like to pretend that they matter. So I check Path of Building. And it tells me I don't need any of these, so I think I just grab faster attacks. Chef, just do it. Thank you. And then we get... Oh, there's Earth Shatter. So I'm going to grab that. Since that's our end skill, yeah, I need to grab it. Besto gave us, I think, passive refund points. And then Tarkly has some other stuff for us. I don't think any of these... We're going to be using precision. So that's a good grab there. Head to my tree. Since I have 2 points now. Consult Path of Building. And grab some life. And I think that was attack speed. Plop Precision in. Precision is an aura effect that increases your accuracy rating, which is very helpful. And we get moving. I don't know why I was standing still there for so long, but it is what it is. There, I just put Precision on. So now it's reserving a portion of my mana. Skipping a bunch of these monsters. Nothing happened, so I ended up just getting right to the end there. It was a pretty good pathing for me. I know I find all the dead ends, but that was actually a decent time pathing to find where I needed to go. And then just walking through, see all these squids. Say, no thank you, squids, I'm not into your games. Like Squid Games, get it? It's a TV show, or just a streaming show. I guess it's not TV, is it? I don't know what you count it. Anyways, a lot of monsters there, so I said, you know what, I'm going to kill all these monsters and get the XP, because it's a big pack. That's when it's worth it to stop, and when you can kill a ton of monsters in the same effort. And then, just to make it fair, I died there. There's no penalty to die in the campaign, so nothing bad happens. Just annoying having to backtrack a little bit. But now I've got all these monsters right in front of me. So I was able to plop a decoy totem and just hammer down on them. Here's Merveil's lair. So I'm going to make a sapphire ring by getting an iron ring and a blue skill gem and selling it to a vendor. And then that will make a cold resistance base ring. Watch it happen. We're nearing the end of the episode here, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, feel free to, it would actually mean a lot to me if you considered subscribing to the channel, leave a comment, like, and do things that help the algorithm. It means a lot to me. But if you don't do it, that's okay too. Just the fact that you watched any amount of this means the world to me. In fact, if you're listening to this, then you've probably made it quite a bit. So that is awesome. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. The ending is probably going to be pretty abrupt. That's why I wanted to say that now. So here I'm just trying to flesh out my gear. I found a better iron ring, so I'm going to do that. One thing I do wish I would have done here, and I don't know if I actually do it, but the sapphire ring that I put on is white. So I know that I picked up an Orb of Alchemy just a few minutes ago. What I should have done is use the Orb of Alchemy on the ring to make it a rare level and give it some more modifiers other than just the cold resistance. But it is what it is. I literally have 20/20 vision right now because I'm talking about this. I'm watching it. That's already happened. Anyway, speed up the footage here because this is another pretty long fight. But the decoy totem was doing a lot of work, directing all of the projectiles that Merveil was sending at me. So we're down to the last few minutes here. I just want to say again, thank you. I will be recording another episode here in just a little bit. So we make it through the end of Act 1 in the first episode here. This was actually a record time for me. I was very happy about that. I beat my previous best by a few minutes, which is, I mean, I know people that can do it in 20 minutes or whatever, but for me, this was pretty good. I think it was like 57 minutes or something like that, which is, like I said, several minutes faster than my previous best time. So very excited to see how it goes for the rest of the campaign here, especially getting to a point in my character's level where I can start using a better skill, get better gear. Of course, as time goes on, just gear is going to get better as naturally, but trying to get through it as quickly as possible. I know I said that I didn't want to necessarily focus on time, but I'm going to end up probably focusing on time. I still want to get it done quick because we want to get to maps and do the things that are actually fun, but we'll see how it goes. So I want to thank you so much for watching. We're gonna zone out here until the end of the episode, the end of the video. But I just want to say again, thank you so much. Feel free to do all the things. Head on over to twitch.tv/ChefLethalPlays. for occasional live streams and fun times, and I will see you in the next one.